In this video, we will look at how we can create our own private methods and properties. This is also the same as saying we are creating static methods and properties. And what those mean is that we have a lot of options. We can allow the end user to access our property or not. We can allow them to set the property or not. We can even allow them to set properties within a certain parameters to our liking. Okay, let's see how we can do that. So right now on the left, we have a regular class person and a fill object. Let's look at fill. Has a name property. Fill.name is equal to 1. Fill's name changes. Okay, let's make it private. Now, inside classes, you can do what's called hash names. So they'll start with a hashtag name, like this. Okay, then inside your constructor, right? This.name, we're going to change it to this.hashname. Okay, now let's see what happens to our fill object. Fill. We open it up. Now this is no longer a property. This is called a private field or a static property. Okay, what happens if we try to change it? Fill.hashtag name equal to 1. Private field hashtag name must be declared in an enclosing class, so we can't do it. What if we just do fill.name is equal to 1? It works. Now when we look at fill again, it still has that private field, but it now has an unwanted property name that we don't want. How can we stop someone from even doing this? How can we stop them from accessing .name? Well, we're going to do what's called a getter. Okay, so what a getter does is it assigns a property or method to a function, and when you call that function, it just returns that property, but it does not let you access it directly, and it does not let you modify it. So let's see how we can do that. So we're going to use the keyword get, right, and name. Okay, so what are we going to return? Why don't we just return this dot hashtag name? Okay, let's save it. Now, fill.name is fill. Fill.name equals 2. Fill. The name is still fill, and we do not get that extra property. Why? Because we linked the name property with a getter. So now the user cannot set it. They can only get it. Get it? All right. Now, what if we do want the user to set the name? What can we do? Okay, we can just do set name. And then since this is a function, we can put the user input in here. Now, what does it mean by set name user input? Well, it means that this part, the user input, is the same as fill.name. Let's say it's equal to wow. So whatever the user puts on the right side of the equal sign is the same as the argument inside the setter. Okay? So now, if we allow the users to set their names to whatever they want, we can just do this dot hashtag name equal to user input. Let's see how this works. Fill, the name is fill. Fill.name is equal to 5. Fill, the name is now 5. Okay. Now, imagine it's World of Warcraft. You're making a game and you have tons of users creating usernames. Now, we should put some parameters or restrictions on usernames, right? So people cannot create whatever names they want. How can we do that? Well, if you take a look at this, set name is actually a function with an argument. So we can do user validation on this user input. Let's just say we don't want them to put numbers as their name. So if type of, remember that, type of user input triple equals number. We don't want that, right? Or let's do also type of, let's just do user input dot includes, and we don't want special characters like the @ right? So if this happens, what can we do? We can console.log no numbers allowed in username. Okay. Else means everything's okay. We're gonna set the this.name to the user input. Okay, let's save that. Let's do fill.name is equal to, let's do 100. It says no numbers allowed. Let's see if it changed. Nope, it did not change. What did we do? Fill.name is equal to, let's just do Philip. It should work. Yep, the name is now Philip. So once again, getters allow you to protect variables. They allow you to protect properties so the users cannot even read them, okay? Now, you use hashtag names, hashtags, to create private properties. You use get so that the user cannot create their own properties with the same name, right? And it also protects that property name. You can then use set to set the property name or allow the user to set that name to whatever you want. Okay, let's move on. So once again, as a reminder, we use the hashtag or hash names to create a private property, okay? Then we use a getter to get that property because we cannot otherwise get the private properties. And also, it prevents the users from creating another property with the same name as our private field, right? Then, this is optional. We can also use a setter to control the way that we allow the users to set whatever private properties that we're protecting, okay? Or remember, if we delete the set, then they cannot set it at all, okay? Hope that was helpful. Awesome.